Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is that man Tripp on behalf of No Cooldown Podcast, coming at you with something really ad hoc just from my side of things before we do a full episode. There was just too much talk around this to not say something about it in the moment while I was watching it back and seeing all the reaction to it. So we had to drop a quick update video. Again, Xbox has revealed their plans for the future, talking about a load of different things, but namely all the exclusivity, the hullabaloo, whatever you want to call it, man, the craziness, the hysteria, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you wanted to call it, the green scare. I'm about to call this the green scare because people were denouncing Xbox for absolutely no reason, because we've come to this this official Xbox podcast update, and they've given the breakdown of what they were talking about. So just kind of go down some of the cliff notes. The big news that we were talking about was there are 4 games that were unnamed that are coming to the Switch and PS5 in future quarters, future updates, future seasons, if you want to call them that. There's a lot of news past that, though. We heard Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass on March 28th as the beginning of the partnership between Activision Blizzard and Xbox coming together, and those games that are again making their way onto Xbox Game Pass. Activision games will be on Xbox Game Pass in the future, and it starts with Diablo 4. As of now, there are about 34 million Game Pass subscribers. Apparently there was no fundamental change again to exclusivity, no major changes outside of those little 4 strategic moves that they're trying to make, and they went into the rationale of why they chose those 4 games or whatever 4 games that they have juggling at the moment that they want to send through. So as many people probably cried over, there is no major change to what Xbox is doing in terms of their plans and how they're trying to go to market. Again, Game Pass is only going to remain on Xbox and PC. It won't go to other platforms. Game Pass is still going to get games that are Xbox first party day one. Does that include new Call of Duties? I don't know yet. We don't know yet, but that's still up in the air to be decided. And they dropped a little bit of hints about the next Xbox piece of hardware, the next console in development. And they kind of tease that basically they're aiming to have it be the biggest technological leap for a console of all time. So again, expecting big things to come from that next console generation, which is probably going to be in like the next probably 4 years we're looking at. But just to step back and look at this, man, there's a lot of overreaction from people. There's a lot of overreaction, and just speaking candidly, bro, the hysteria that came from this past week and change of people just like, oh, Xbox is dying, Xbox is dead, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to me. Why couldn't people just wait? You know what I'm saying? I guess I understand people are like trying to get their takes in and stuff like that. And we've done the same. We've given our opinions on what we were speculating about, but the lengths and the extremity that people took it to of like, they're denouncing Xbox. They're saying F Xbox, I'm giving up. They're giving up on the game, so I'm giving up on them. They even say nothing official yet. That was all hearsay. I'm like, bro, y'all gotta chill out. And this is the thing. They provided some of that rationale when it came to, again, the games that they're choosing. They were like, just sometimes based on the criteria of what the games are, and, how long it's been since they've released, what types of games they are, they think it would be a good option for them to go to other platforms. And again, give them a bit of incentive and give them a bit of traction to build their IP in other places. And to me, it sounds just like what I was talking about on the last podcast episode, which will probably be in the link. I'll probably do an info card somewhere to click on the last episode. But it just feels like, again, one, they're not giving up on any hardware. They will be stupid to after they just acquired probably the biggest gaming company or the biggest gaming acquisition in history. That will be very, very stupid in that case when they have a lot of cards and a lot of eggs in their basket. And with them being in this position, they're not giving up on hardware, they're focused on next generation, but they're still behind in the IP lane. What is one way to give yourself a boost and still adhere to your strategy of trying to be able to be played everywhere? Have an ecosystem that touches everything in gaming. Have certain IPs that you choose, again, be on multiple platforms. And again, it feels like it's not a secret at this point, or at least many people are guessing in the same direction to the certain 4 games that are chosen as the games that will go multi-platform, Apparently, again, it was Hi-Fi Rush that was reported from January, a lot by a variety of sources that will be one of the games. Sea of Thieves as well from before. Pentiment, which was very, very much picked up in the news earlier this month in the rumors, and Grounded, which I saw some reports of as well. So those are the 4 games apparently that are slated to go to multi-platform. And just looking at each of them in essence, I'll go from back to front. Grounded, again, live service game, open world, honestly has a really good set of content to it, but it's a live service, online focus. So it makes sense putting it in multi-platform to help establish and maintain the server health, and again potentially get people more invested in buying microtransactions and stuff or whatever additional content that comes from it, and gets a healthier player base in a live service games as a service title. That makes sense. That's plain as day. I completely understand why they would do that. Pentiment, I think Phil Spencer explained that some games in and of itself, they weren't really made to be a console exclusive. And when he said those words, I feel like that really gravitated towards Pentiment specifically. I felt like that, again, a game is probably not the biggest in terms of marketing scope or scale. It's not a AAA blockbuster game, but it is a very, very good game. It's a very, very good game that was very well critically. It was very highly scored by critics. It was had very good reception, but again, it might not have gotten to a lot of people's hands because it was a console exclusive. So bringing that to multiple platforms might help the standing of it, and again, could propel it to other iterations, whether it be a sequel, whether it be expansion in that universe. Just speaking from pure gaming and business standpoints, putting a game that didn't get enough shine because it was exclusive onto other platforms, it's probably only going to help them get more notoriety to the developers who are working on it, to the IP that's associated with the game Pentiment. Sea of Thieves felt like was probably the most obvious out of all the current Xbox titles to say, hey, this is going to be something that's going multi-platform. It's a heavily live service game. There's a lot of free updates. There's, again, a lot of things that can easily be helped in terms of the game's environment and lifespan just by putting it multi-platform. This on a PS5 makes sense. It just makes sense. Again, anything live, especially this and Grounded, it makes complete sense for it to be, again, put on another format like that, put on a platform for it to survive longer. And who knows, again, for other people to like the IP so much that they support it, and it can get, again, future updates or come back in an even bigger way, and Xbox can have more revenue that comes back to it. And again, probably the one that was reported the most from the beginning of the year, Hi-Fi Rush. Again, Hi-Fi Rush was a shadow drop from last year, from the beginning of last year's Xbox Developer Direct. Critical reception, pretty good. But they know they can test the waters with something that isn't, again, in their main pantheon of IPs, and that can propel the series to be seen as more than just a cult classic at this point. They can get some higher ratings. They can get, again, a lot of people have heard about Hi-Fi Rush because it came out of surprise and people were like, bigging it up. But now other people on other platforms have a chance to actually get their hands on it, and that can propel it, into a consistent level of, again, a sequel series or another iteration, DLC, whatever you want. That could financially propel them, and boost them to a point where they're swimming in money. Hi-Fi Rush could be swimming in money because I think it's a great game. It's a good IP. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's brand new and something that could be sustained by getting multi-platform notoriety and familiarity. If you're in more places, you know what I'm saying? If you're in more places, you're more liable to be seen and be supported. That's common math. Honestly, you're gonna have more chance to be supported. So I understand that. Now, with the news, they also kind of shot down the rumor of games like what's called Indiana Jones going to another IP. They said that wasn't planning on happening. So, at least from my view, this looks like they're Trojan horsing IPs that aren't their main thing. This is basically what it is. They have their environment that they set up, the ecosystem that they want to put on. In the end, going multi-platform is going to help their margins on games that might not get all the shine, but are still very good games. You know what I'm saying? Like they could get a whole new lease on life if they go multi-platform. I'm looking at Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves specifically. Again, that could propel them into a whole nother stratosphere when it comes to a bunch of people are exposed to their game now, and there's so much support and so many people bought that game. Now Tango's like, oh damn, we're getting all this love. I didn't even know we could have tapped into this. And Xbox like, man, make a sequel, cool. And from there, Xbox could probably do whatever they want. Put a timed exclusive on it. Put a maybe a day and date to get a maximum range of profits. Who knows? But it gives Xbox more options to earn money and sustain all the business moves that they've been making all the day long in this past 8 to 12 months, and 2, have stronger IPs that are known throughout the gaming space. That is their biggest hurdle that they have to get through, in my opinion, in terms of pure gaming challenges, not the business side, not all that. How can they build their first party IP library? How can they build strong, hard-hitting, IPs and franchises that can stand up eventually to the likes of a God of War, to the likes of the Ratchet and Clanks? Because if you look at, again, PlayStation's catalog and Nintendo's catalog, it's deep with first-party stuff. This is common knowledge, and Xbox doesn't have the level of quality at this point to go pound for pound with all of them. So they have to find other ways to build up their IP. They're kind of behind the 8 ball. So why not Trojan horse it? If an IP that you're not as, tied to intrinsically, like a Hi-Fi Rush that just came out, is brand new, why don't you test the waters? Put it on, but yeah, you guys can have it on Switch for now. You know what I'm saying? Have it on Switch, have it on PS5. If y'all like it, oh, cool. Then we love it. We gonna double it up, come back with a new iteration of it, and then we're gonna get even more money because that's a strong IP. And then years down the line, you can make these decisions of saying, oh, maybe we can keep it console exclusive because everybody loves it now. It's known the world over, and now we can do whatever we want with it. This is it's a smart play. It's a smart play, and it still is in line with what they've always been kind of pushing in this generation, and somewhat of the last, and just making games and making the ecosystem of Xbox available in as many places as possible. It makes sense. It makes sense. But I just find it funny that the overreaction with the with the console war stuff is just annoying. Some people may take this as, oh, they're completely giving up, blah blah blah. They might still take it to the extreme of Xbox are letting go of their exclusives. This is not good. They've given up we've lost the console war. If you want to do that, cool, that's your fault. I'm not gonna lie, at this point you're still talking about console exclusives and console wars as this imperative in your life as a gamer. I don't know what to tell you. You're lost. And that's just my personal opinion. Again, that's the opinion of that man Tripp, not of the entire podcast. We got 2 other people to speak for, not just me. But we'll definitely get more into it in the episode that we'll record some point next week. But yeah, so far this is pretty in line with Xbox's been aiming up for, and it's smart. IPs that they're not as tied to and they know aren't necessarily console sellers, but they can become better. They can become bigger by getting this boost by going multi-platform. It makes sense. It makes sense. And that's all the other news. That was all pretty straightforward. Diablo 4 probably is a really smart thing to put on Game Pass, considering Diablo is not in the best way right now. Again, it got a lot of hype coming out the gate, but just some of the pay structures and how the game panned out probably wasn't great. But this is good. I think overall the changes in what they were talking about and reaffirming their strategy of saying, yo, listen, we're not giving up on anything. We haven't really changed our course. We're just doing this, again, to give some of these games, some of these IPs a chance, and which is still in line with what we're thinking of at our heart and our core of Xbox being able to be played everywhere, having the chance to play everywhere, which is, again, in line with what they've been about for the past damn near 10 years. So this is fair. It's fair. I don't mind it. Again, I think those games will they'll have a world of good. You know what I'm saying? They'll be in for a world of good going multi-platform, and it doesn't necessarily hurt what Xbox is doing at all currently. At the end of the day, I think it's, like I said before, it's just the first party hurdle and beefing up the connotation that Xbox has strong first party titles. This move, I think it works towards helping that. It does work towards helping that, and I feel like it will pay dividends in the long run, for their bottom line, for the perception of Xbox first party being able to make good games that people want to see. And it all adds back to when the big guns come out, when they have the Gears of War or another Halo game or whatever, because I doubt they're ever going to let those go. When those things come back around, Indiana Jones, whenever it's ready to come out in full fruition, whenever they have those big guns ready to roll, they'll have added incentive and added, beef to the connotation that Xbox, but they've been putting out some good stuff, man. We saw what they did with the thing that we got on PlayStation 5. Oh, what about that game that they got on Xbox? The big hit right there. That all adds to the mystique, that adds to the mythos, and I feel like overall they're doing the smart thing. So that's just my opinion, though. That's the opinion of that man Tripp. That could be anybody else's opinion. It could change on any other given day for other people who are looking at the situation. But let me know what you thought in the comment section below about all the news from Xbox that we've heard. And yeah, with that being said, we got more content coming, more episodes on the way soon. Shorts, segments, might have some playthroughs for you. I don't know, man. There could be a bunch of stuff, but just keep it locked to No Cooldown Podcast, man, because we not cooling down anytime soon. All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for listening in. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell as well to stay in tune. And we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.